Okay, so we're starting our money unit that we're working on in term 3, and the first thing we're looking at is marking prices up and marking prices down. So marking up is a term that's used by stores when they take usually their cost price and they add a margin or a certain percentage on, and they get what's called the marked up price. And the difference between their cost price and their marked up price is their profit, or how much money they're making. So it's really important that stores or whoever is selling something does this, otherwise they have no way of making money and covering their other costs. So this is what we're going to look at first. So some important words you need to understand is cost price. So cost price is the price that the store or the business actually pays for whatever item they're selling. And sale price, retail price, or marked up price, all are words that mean basically the same thing. And it's the price paid by the customer for the item when they buy, the end user of the item. You might also see it written as RRP, recommended retail price. And it's recommended retail price is a margin or an amount that the manufacturer usually of the goods sets, and the store might decide to charge it, but they don't have to. But RRP is a commonly used term, so you need to know about that. Okay, let's look at a few examples and then you're going to have a go at them. So this first one, an electrical store uses a 40% markup on large items. What is the retail price for a fridge that cost the store $840? So it's asking you how much the end user is going to pay. Now, there are various ways you can do this. I'm going to show you one way and we'll talk about another possible way. So dollars markup is what I'm going to find first. How much was the markup put on there in terms of dollars? So that's going to be the percentage that we're marking up. So the percentage markup times the cost price. So once you've written a little equation like this that can help you solve it, it's actually pretty easy. So the first thing you should always try and do is write an equation that expresses what you've been asked to find. So in this case, our percentage markup is 40%. And the cost price is $840. You really need to convert that to a decimal because your graphics calculators do not have the function to work out percentages. So percentage to a decimal, you divide by 100. That's just if you don't remember, but that's how you do it. So 0.4 is the decimal for 40%. And you would just put that into your calculator and work out the amount. So the dollars markup that the store is going to add on to this item is $336. Doesn't finish answering the question, wants to know what the retail price is. So the retail price for any goods is going to be the cost price that the store or the business paid plus the dollars markup. And we just worked that out. So we've got these items now. So that is going to be $840 plus the $336 markup, or total retail price is $1,176. So that's one possible method of working out what it's asking. You could also have used the method of taking 100% of the cost price plus that 40% markup, which of course equals 140% or 1.4, and multiply that by the original cost price as well. So that's another way you could do it. That would be a one-step answer to the problem instead of a two-step answer. But if you don't really understand that, you're probably better off using the first one. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's look at another example. Retail price of a tire is $125 and the cost price was $75. What was the percentage markup? So we've got the two values this time. Now we're being asked to find out what was the percentage that was used. So we can work out the dollar markup pretty easily because that is going to be the retail price minus the cost price. So we've got that information. Let's substitute that in. 125 minus 75. So our dollars markup in this case is $50. Now what we're being asked to find is the percentage markup. So to do that, we're going to use a little formula, if you like, which is pretty useful. So the percentage markup, which is just a reverse of what we did up above, it's the dollars markup divided by the cost price. Oops. Cost price. And we want it to be a percentage, so we're going to multiply that by 100%. So in this case, it's going to be $50 over 75 times that 100%, which is 66 2/3%. You wouldn't really normally see percentages written that way. You'd see them written as decimals, 66.67%. And it's approximate, so I've used an approximated equal sign there. Don't forget to use the percentage sign at the end as well. Okay, last example for today. A shop uses a 70% markup. What was the cost price of a pair of jeans if it sold for $157.25? So this time we've got the percentage markup, we've got the retail price, we need to find the cost price. So the retail price here, just as it was before, is going to be the cost price plus that markup. In this case, 70% markup. So let's substitute in what we know. 157.25 equals 100% of the cost price we're starting with plus another 70% markup, or 70% of the cost price. Because remember, markup is always a percentage of the cost price. So what we've got then is we've got one unknown, cost price, which is what we're looking for, because in our first equation we had 3 unknowns, so that's not going to work for us. We need to change it so we've only got one unknown. So 157.25 equals 170% of the cost price. So let's convert that to a decimal. 1.7 times the cost price. Now, cost price is all we've got left as our unknown, so we need to get rid of the other amount that is currently multiplied by the cost price, or the 1.7. And to do that, we need to divide, because divide is the opposite, divide is the opposite operation to times, so that's what we need to do. So we need to divide both sides by 1.7. So our cost price is going to be 157.25 divided by 1.7. Do that in your calculator and make sure your unknown is written on the left-hand side. So in this case, our cost price is $92.50. Now, we should write a sentence because it is a word problem. So the cost price of the jeans, and of course we should have done that on the last two as well. A bit slack and we didn't, but please do, was $92.50. So mark down something you need to know. Well, actually, let's skip that mark down bit. It's very important that you realize here that you do not just work out 70% of the retail price and subtract. It is different. Give it a go and work it out, and you will see that that is actually a totally different amount. You need, because when percentages work off certain values, and if your starting value is different, the percentage amount or the dollar amount based on the percentage is also going to be different. So it's very important that you don't just look at that and go, I'm going to take 70% off that, because it would be 70% of a different starting amount. Do not do that. Okay. The other thing you need to know is about markdown, or marked down. So markdown is just the opposite operation of markup, as it sounds like. So you are going to subtract instead of add on. So markdowns might occur where things are being discounted because they might be old stock, something like that. So they need to mark down the price so it's available for sale, so that they can get rid of it and recoup some of their money. So markdown, just the opposite. Okay, that's all I'm doing today. If you have any questions, please see me in class. Otherwise, don't forget there's YouTube clips and other things that could help you with this if you need an alternate explanation. Okay, thank you.